Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fortitude Valley. In particular, to Amelia Street, which might not ring too many bells, but this might ring a bell. If we head to the end of the street, round that bend, just over there, is Brunswick Street. And if we look back here, that street there in the distance, that is St. Paul's Terrace. So somewhere in that general direction over there is the intersection between Brunswick Street and St. Paul's Terrace. So that might give you a better idea of where we are. But why are we here? Well, we're going to drive State Route 26. Brisbane State Route 26 that goes from here in Fortitude Valley at the intersection between Brunswick Street and St. Paul's Terrace all the way to Deception Bay. And on the way, we're going to be going through the western side of the Redcliffe Peninsula. Oh boy, you don't know how many times I've tried to do that intro, but we finally got it. We're finally here. On the way, we'll be following St. Paul's Terrace basically all the way to the end of the road. On the way, it's going to change names a couple of times. It'll become Abbotsford Road and then Sandgate Road. And after that, we'll be going along the Deagon Deviation, which is a lovely, fun road. It's sort of an expressway, not really a highway. And then we'll be travelling across the Houghton Highway Bridge into Redcliffe and then west into Deception Bay. But today we might be going just a smidgen further into Narangbar, just because it's a bit difficult to find comfortable parking in Deception Bay. This route I've actually done before. It was the test route for this particular series. And I found when I got to Deception Bay that it's not the most, what's the word? Inviting when it comes to parking. Anyway, let's get going. So, as usual, I'm not going to be talking all the time. Sometimes things might be quiet, sometimes things might not be, but I'll probably end up talking a lot more than I think I will. And this person seems to be maybe waiting for me to come out, and they seem to be going fairly slowly. Huh. I don't know. Maybe they were looking at me. I got a GoPro on my head. I'm a bit obnoxious, a bit conspicuous. Anyway, let's get out of here. Lucky for me, it's Sunday. And metered parking in Brisbane on Sunday is free. So you don't need to pay shit. So here we are. Here's Brunswick Street. We're not quite on the route yet, but we're almost there. Just gotta give way here. Let some cars go. There we are. All clear. Let's go. And just up here we turn left, and that's where Route 26 starts. Should take us about an hour. Google says 55 minutes, but it'll probably be closer to an hour, maybe a little bit over. You should make it the whole trip, but just in case, let me point some cool air conditioning air onto you. There we are. When I was listening back to the last video, I found out that there's no problem in doing that. It does not distort the audio at all. You know, I always get a bit nervous when starting these videos. A little bit anxious, you know. But I'll loosen up as time goes on. I fixed the problem, I think. Well, hopefully I fixed the problem. Where in the last video you couldn't actually see out the left side. Because of the dash cam and all that. But welcome to St. Paul's Terrace, folks. We're leaving now Fortitude Valley and probably heading into Bowen Hills. Well, definitely heading into Bowen Hills, because we'll be seeing Mayne Depot on the way. Mayne Yard, that's what it's called. I'm not sure if I finished my sentence before about visibility on the left, because I noticed in the last video, or the last video that I recorded, we went past the train line on Gympie Road, and there was a train going past, but you couldn't see it because, you know, even though I could see it, you couldn't, because the oh, what do you call it? sun visor, that's what they're called. There you go. The sun visor was in the way, and the dash cam as well didn't help. And I figured so long as I'm recording with this thing, I don't need a dash cam. Because this is my dash cam, you know? So here we are. It's not St. Paul's Terrace anymore, it's something else. At some point it'll become Abbotsford Road, and then eventually Sandgate Road. Sandgate Road, by the way, that might sound very familiar to people living on the north side. It's a pretty big thoroughfare, a big main road. It looks like there's some construction work going on up here. I did see some police around the area. It'll be a bit awkward if we get pulled over for a random breath test or something. No, no police, it's just roadworks. Actually, it looks like there must be a rail closure on today. Because I went, when I was coming here, just after that bridge you see up there, if you can see it, just after that bridge up there was where I turned onto this road, and I could see there's construction vehicles on the railway. So it must be closed north of Bowen Hills Station. Definitely on Abbotsford Road now. But anyway, as I was saying, Sandgate Road is a pretty big thoroughfare. It goes from Albion all the way to Deagon. But we'll get there. We'll get there. And here we are, just there, up there. That's Mayne Yard. And look, a train! Trains! And yeah, you see they're doing a lot of work over there, it looks like. There's plenty of workers. There's a thingamabob on the tracks there. Fitting name, because it is the Mayne Yard of Brisbane, pretty much. The central train yard. It used to be a central train yard in Roma Street, but that was a long time ago. It's before my time, way before then. Bowen Hills, by the way, I haven't been to Bowen Hills very much. I've been there in order to get from Bowen Hills to Newstead, I think. In order to get the Bunnings there, but I haven't spent too much time in Bowen Hills. As far as I know, it's mostly industrial and commercial. Certainly looks that way. It's not a particularly warm and inviting place. Mostly just places where people work, I think. Here we are. Here's Breakfast Creek, and this is where Sandgate Road begins. As you can tell, this is a route that I've driven before. I actually can't remember whether I said it in the intro or not, but this is a route that I did for the test drive for this series. So there won't be any blind reactions like the last one. There won't be any "oh" or "wow." But I might have a bit more information. So here we are in Albion now. And I've always wanted to take a little walk around Albion because I've driven through this place before. And it looks like a bit of an old-timey town kind of vibe, you know? It's got all these old buildings, and it's a small road. It is also a main thoroughfare as well. But I've always wanted to just have a little walk down there at some point. Here we are, that sign is telling us where to go. Houghton Highway, Redcliffe and Caboolture. Although we're not going as far as Caboolture, just to Redcliffe. Now these little roads in the city here, they always seem to have a speed limit of 60. But I've always been a little skeptical of that. I never feel comfortable going 60 down these roads. They're too narrow, too windy. It does open up quite a bit as we go on, but for now it's quite comfortable. Well, cozy is probably a better word. Perhaps squishy. Now you turn down that way to the right here, and you'll be heading towards Clayton? No, it's not Clayton. Clayfield, that's it. And Hendra and Ascot and that whole area. Towards the race courses. Maybe one day we'll head down there near Nudgee Road, that kind of area. Hamilton and all that. There aren't any state routes there apart from Kingsford Smith Drive. I can't remember what the number for that one is though. But I reckon we'll be going down there at some point. Let's just turn the aircon up a little bit. Keep it cool in here. That sun's beating down hard. Somewhere along the way we'll be going through Nundah too, but that's a little ways off. I think we might actually be in Clayfield at this point. To be honest, I'm not all that familiar with the northern suburbs. Yeah, see that bus stop says Clayfield, so we must be in Clayfield. Here's Junction Road. You follow this road to the left, you'll be heading towards Eagle Junction train station. You follow it to the right, and you'll be going to Hendra. Hendra? I think it's Hendra. Feels like Hendra. Here we are, Sandgate Road, Route 26, also Route 20. I didn't realise that. I don't know where Route 20 goes, I haven't looked at that one. I'll have to explore it at a later date. I want to make sure we're not going on the M7, because that's a toll road, that is, and I don't feel like paying tolls today. That train line there, that is the airport line. That heads east through Northgate. No, not Northgate. Through the air. Let's just let my words catch up with my mind. Heads east through the Hendra, Ascot, Doomben area. Not quite straight through it, but just north of it. And then through Eagle Junction and into the airport. And here we are, this is Nundah, and I know it's Nundah because we've got this tunnel here. I'm not sure when this was built, when this bypass was built, this tunnel that goes underneath the Nundah town centre. Mighty convenient though. I always find when it comes to these tunnels it's always best to turn your lights on, especially with this particular car. Otherwise it's hard to see your speed on the dash. Now this road on the left up here, it's spelt Road. Google says Roadie Road. I don't know which it is. It's one of the two. Either way, amusing name. If you follow that road, it heads towards Gympie Road, and you end up in Kedron. The only reason I know that is because I've been there to get something from that JB Hi-Fi Superstore over there. Man, that's a fun place. Huge. They sell bloody washing machines. I didn't know they sold washing machines at JB Hi-Fi. But there you go. Northgate Road on the right. Well, no, up here. I think you can guess where that goes. And then Hamilton Road up here, and this one will take you to Chermside. And Chermside Shopping Centre, Westfield Chermside. And I'll tell you what, the car parks at the car parks at Westfield Chermside, a bloody maze they are. Tried to park there several times, always gone on the wrong entrance and been come out the other side and wondered where the hell I am, where am I going? Getting lost. Always a fun experience, trying to park in a place like that. Huge shopping centre, by the way. Huge. Welcome to Virginia, folks. Virginia. Somewhere up here, if I recall correctly, we pass over the North Coast line, and in fact pass directly over Virginia Station. But it could be another road. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's Sandgate Road. We'll find out soon enough. If we leave Virginia. Now here it is. Just there on the left, that pathway there, that goes to Virginia Station. And here we are, passing over the train line there. Might have got a bit of a view of the catenary. And here we are. We're now on the huge big thoroughfare huge big thoroughfare part of Sandgate Road. This section is admittedly a little bit boring, just straight. But hey, speed limit goes up, 70 k's an hour, folks. But we're not going to be going that anytime soon because it looks like there's a bit of traffic and a red light. Damn. Great big commercial area this is. You've got everything. Bunnings, super cheap. There's Macca's. All the petrol stations as well. Looks like there might be an Amart up there. All the petrol stations. That's 4 I've counted so far on this road. Yeah, and that's definitely an Amart. Some of these road routes I find are a little less interesting than others. Or at least they take a little while to get interesting. I suppose in this particular case, part of the reason this one's not quite so interesting is because I quite prefer the regional road routes. The ones that go, you know, out west and places that are not quite so built up as this. Because I find, you know, this place is nice and all, but it's a bit American. And it's just, there's not all that much to see. There's just shops everywhere. This particular stretch of road, though, is particularly dull because it's just flat and straight, and that's all. Welcome to Boondall, folks. Welcome to Boondall. Somewhere around here is the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, which is not located in Brisbane, not really. It's located in Brisbane City, but not specifically in Brisbane. It's a bit far out to be called Brisbane Entertainment Centre, I think. It's a bit of a pompous name, in my opinion. Though I'd never been there. Apparently it is a very nice venue. Here it is, Brisbane Entertainment Centre, right-hand line. It's got its own turning lane, see? It's probably because there are actually some pretty big events held there. It's usually one of the major venues if musicians come to play in Brisbane, that kind of thing. See, this is a little bit nicer, I find. I find the residential areas a little nicer to look at a lot of the time than big commercial industrial areas like there was before. You know, the residential areas tend to be a lot prettier. A lot more trees, a lot more green. Especially when you get out this area. I mean, look at all the trees out here. It's amazing. It's quite lovely. Yes, sir, I kind of agree. This person here is doing 60. I'm not sure if it's the person in front of them. Might very well be. Now that sign there, it says M1 straight ahead. That's where we're heading. We are heading M1, which is not actually the M1. It's just the same connection to get us to the Deagon Deviation. We're kind of got to go the way you would go to get to the M1. Here we are. Now I'm not sure what this road is, because it can't be the M1. Surely not. I mean, it could be. It might be. is big enough to be the M1, that's for sure. 60. But we're about to hit the M1. There's a train line over there. I've just noticed that. I didn't notice that the last time I came here. Oh, look, a train line. Hello, sir. I wonder if that must be somewhere near Boondall? Boondall Station, North Boondall? Maybe. Or maybe Deagon. Because we are heading towards Deagon. Deagon is where the big intersection is. I think we're almost there. I haven't seen a suburb sign, so I don't know. Looks like Deagon though, because we're here. We're here. Here's the big intersection. Now we want to be heading straight ahead. We don't want to be turning left towards Bracken Ridge or anything like that. We want to be going straight through onto this road here. Route 26 continues straight through here onto the Deagon Deviation. But we got to be careful when we get out of here because we got to make sure we are on the road to the Deagon Deviation and not on the road to the M1. Because we do not want to get on the M1 here. And it looks like we are already there. No problem, no lane changes, nothing. That's lovely. And that there, on the left, that's the M1. Those particular lanes right there, they're heading towards Gold Coast, but on the other side it goes towards the Sunshine Coast up north. And then just up here is where the Deagon Deviation begins. Is a big road corridor. This is. This never used to be this big. I actually don't know what was here before because I was too young to be able to remember. But this was upgraded somewhere around 5, I want to say, years ago. There was a big upgrade of this area where all these new lanes and everything were added. This whole new interchange that connects us to the Deagon Deviation. And this is how you know the Deagon Deviation is an expressway and not a highway, is that it's 90 kilometers per hour. And that is the speed limit for the entire Deagon Deviation. Also, it's not laid out like a highway. And it's a bit small for a highway, I find. I think, at least. There's Barfoot Street up there. Not entirely sure where that goes, or where it comes from. To be honest, I haven't been to Deagon before. I've only been around Deagon on this road. But this road in particular has always fascinated me because it's always, I don't know what it is, it's like a teeny little expressway that just takes you around a suburb. Not big enough for a highway, not small enough for a main road. Too fast for a main road, that's for sure. It's just sort of an expressway, and it doesn't have motorway or highway or freeway or anything like that in its name. It's just called a deviation. I've always been interested to know when this was made. I think, if I remember right, it was sometime in the 90s that this road was made. I did do a little bit of research beforehand, but I can't quite remember the details. I believe that that's the Boondall wetlands on the left back there. I believe so. Though possibly not. It might be just a little bit too far north for that. And here we are, the road's opening up, the area's opening up as we approach Houghton Highway Bridge and another bridge that I can't remember the name of. Because this bridge was duplicated a little while ago. I want to say it was before they upgraded the that section of the M1 back there that they duplicated this. But this bridge as well is quite long. It's a long bridge because it bridges Deagon or Sandgate to Redcliffe, or the Redcliffe Peninsula. So we're going to get some very interesting view out the window from this bridge. It's not all that much to see, but it's just different. I struggle to recall another bridge in Queensland that's the length of this one. There might be one, but I'm not sure. Off we go. That there's the old, I think it's an old bridge back there. Those pillars on the side there. I assume it's what it is. And here we are. Houghton Highway Bridge. And then that there on the right is another one which starts with H as well, but I can't remember the name. That's the newer one over there. I do wonder why this bridge goes up at this point, but is otherwise quite low to the ocean. I do happen to know that at high tides during storms, I believe this bridge floods and they divert traffic across to the other one. Because it is pretty low, all things considered. And you see what I mean by this bridge being long? It is a long bridge. Certainly not the longest in the world, but certainly one of the longer ones in Queensland, I'll say that. That's for sure. Now here we want to head straight ahead. At a later date we'll be turning right and going up towards Scarborough, but today we'll just be taking the inland route through Redcliffe. Through Clontarf and Kippa-ring, I believe. I think it's Clontarf. So welcome to the Redcliffe Peninsula, folks. Unfortunately, the beaches are over that way. So we won't get to see them this time, but at some point, a later date, we'll be doing Route 27, which I'm sure will be a bit more of an interesting route, I think. Mostly because I haven't done it before. Let's just get in the left lane because I'm going to be doing the speed limit. That might piss some people off. Yeah, here we are, Clontarf. You can tell because the state school's named after it. And then next up is Kippa-ring, and then after that, I think after Kippa-ring, we head west towards Rothwell. And then after that, it's Deception Bay. Wow, look at that windmill. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's going a bit quick, isn't it? It's not a windmill, though, is it? It's called a wind turbine. I always get annoyed when other people call wind turbines windmills, because there's no milling involved. Of course, I did just a moment before. But it didn't count. It didn't count. Oh, my mistake. Doesn't count. But damn, that thing's going quick. It's not quite as windy today as it was yesterday, but I think it is still pretty windy. Once we get out towards Deception Bay, we might very well see some carnage from yesterday, because my God, it was windy. The windiest it's been in a very long time, I'll tell you what. Just hearing the bloody apartment where I am just creak. It's a bit scary. Spooky. When you look at the Redcliffe Peninsula on a map, it looks relatively small. But what I found the last time I did this route, when I was doing that test, was that it's actually pretty big. At least based on how far we have to drive to get to the north end of it. Like, you'd think we'd be there by now, based on the like when you take a look at the scale on the map. But no, this thing is deceptively large, deceptively long. There's a lot here too. I mean, you just wait till we get to Kippa-ring. We're not there yet. There's a whole town centre and everything. And we got to get through that. And then we got more after that. This road is one of those roads that just keeps going and going and going. Welcome to Kippa-ring, folks. We're here. Home to the relatively recently opened Redcliffe Peninsula line. Or at least the terminus, which doesn't actually go to Redcliffe, it just goes to Kippa-ring. here we are here. We go this way to follow Route 26 up towards Rothwell and Deception Bay. I'm kind of glad I saw that, otherwise I would have been going straight ahead. That's not where we want to be going. And here's Kippa-ring Station up here, just on the left. I'll tell you what, that road came up a little bit more quickly than I thought it did, that intersection back there. I thought we still had quite a ways to go. Because I'm pretty sure there is a big, like, three-way intersection coming up somewhere. This might very well be it. Is this in fact it? Actually, I think it is, just based on the shape of it. There's a fair bit of traffic, surprisingly. And weirdly enough, everyone's in the left lane, and I'm not sure why. Now it gets a little bit more sparse out here. So we're actually heading, well, we've pretty much left the Redcliffe Peninsula now. And we're heading towards Rothwell, if we're not already there. Here we are. We weren't already there, but now we are. Rothwell, Moreton Bay. And there's Bunnings. It's the second Bunnings we passed since leaving Brisbane. That's another interesting thing about this route, is that it actually doesn't take that long to get here. The time just flies by. Might also help that I've driven this route before, so I kind of already know what's coming. I think, if I'm right, it's only been about 40 odd minutes or so. I think we left Fortitude Valley around 10:30ish, and it's now 10 past 11. I think the ETA, my ETA, was getting there around 11:30, getting to the end of this route, getting to Narangbar. Well, the hopeful ETA at least. We'll see what the actual ETA is, or the actual TA. And then after Rothwell, I believe it's straight to Deception Bay. looks like we're still in Rothwell though, because there's a train station down there. Or so the sign says. Now up here we want to be turning towards the right. Deception Bay. Deception Bay Road. And we don't want to be getting on the M1. That is where this route ends. But we'll be going straight on to Narangbar, and we'll find a place to stop him just there. In fact, this might be the very big triangle intersection that I was thinking of. Ah, would you look at this? It's all built up. Wow. That's the great thing about the greater Brisbane, southeast Queensland area, is that unless you're like right in the middle of the city, there can be like small bits of road or large bits of road where there's just nothing, and then there's lots of something, and then there's nothing. It's one of the things I love about this area. Even closer into the city you can find places like that, roads that go through like conservation areas and stuff like that. You'll just be driving through this really built up area, and then all of a sudden you're out in the country. And then it's back in the built-up area. I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty of that in future videos. Tell you what, I'd say probably about 45 minutes to an hour is probably about the limit that I can wear this GoPro for, because it's starting to give me that headache again. And if I recall right, it was doing the same thing when I was heading out on the last video towards Daba and Mount Me and Diagwala. So I have to keep it in mind. See that there, that up there, that is a windmill, or at least it looks like one. Though it certainly doesn't look like it's doing any milling. But it also doesn't look like it's doing any turbining, so it's just a reverse fan. A naff, if you may. I'll tell you what, there's more out here at Deception Bay than I thought there was. You look on Google Maps and it looks just like green. Green, green, green. You don't see much. But there's that big commercial area back there, and then there's looks like a whole big residential district over there on the left. But up here looks like we're getting towards the M1. You can see the road widening up and opening up. It's what happens when you get towards a highway. At least I find. Yeah, check that out, see? That's something I've noticed when going around Brisbane, is that the independent petrol stations tend to be the ones that give you the actual price of petrol, which at this point is $1.55. It's been $1.55 at the independents for quite some time, but all the other ones like to bump it up to $2. Bastards. It's price gouging, that's all it is. Oh well. There's not much you can do about it, except go and support the independents. I was wrong, by the way. We're not quite at the highway yet. I thought we were. It looked like it was opening up. Looked like a we're approaching the highway now kind of road. That sort of fend angle. But we're not quite there yet. Excuse me one moment while I just adjust you. I really got to find like maybe an extra bit of cushion or something I can put up there. Something that'll stop me from getting this bloody headache. Interesting. The road actually narrows before we get to the highway, unless we've gone over the highway and I've missed it. That would be concerning. I wonder what that's about. You see that sign over there? Yes, we are still open. McDonald's. I wonder what that means. Did there used to be a McDonald's where all that construction was, and now it's... I don't know, there's one just over there. See? I wonder what that's about. Anyway. I'll have to look into that. There's something major going on here or something like that. Well, onwards and squishwards. See if people know how to zipper merge. Small section of Deception Bay Road. Small. And very slightly more rural, though we're not quite rural yet. Still very much residential, although much less built up, especially on the left. Look at those plots of land over there. It looks like just bush here, although I can see buildings in there, so there must be land. People must live there. Here's a little commercial area here. Or daycare or something. Looks like a cafe. And an abandoned petrol station. Or not abandoned, just... not in use, for sale. Man, I tell you what, it takes a lot longer to get to the highway than I thought it did. I remember it being quite quick. Evidently not. Evidently my memory is not functional. Not properly functional. My memory is broken. I have no memory of this event. But I think I see it. At long last, I think I see it. I think I see it. You can see, well, I can see those shoulders. The shoulders? No. The middle bit. It has a name, but I've forgotten it. The pinkness. I see. There's a police station down there? Jesus, that's a small road. But the pinkness. I see the pinkness up here. And that means the road is widening. And things are happening. They don't want you to drive across the pinkness. Alright, let's take a look at these directions. Because we want to be going straight through. We don't want to be going on the highway. So, middle 2 lanes. We should be good. We should be fine. Yep, we're in the right one. We'll probably end up merging into that lane on the right, but that's fine by me. And here we are, the M1. Welcome to the end of Route 26. But probably not the end of our journey. No. There's the highway there. Don't know if you saw it. Quick glance. But we're going to continue on straight ahead towards Narangba. And in fact, I've got a little park that I've scouted out on Google Maps that I kind of want to stop at, called Norfolk Lake Park, I think. Norfolk Lakes Park, something like that. We should be able to find a place to set down there, and we'll finish off the video. Now, I'll tell you what, I have not been to Narangbar before, not by car. I've been through it by train, but not by car before. So I'm not at all familiar with the area. It'll be interesting to see what kind of things are there. Certainly looks a lot more rural. Definitely a lot more rural than the Redcliffe Peninsula. There's certainly some routes up here we could take at a later date. And in fact, there's one which isn't a state route, which I kind of want to take you on anyway. And we'll see that a little bit further up. This is an interesting little road. 80 k's an hour, it's got fencing on the right hand side. Looks very new, I will say. Recently relaid. I seem to recall that a lot of the roads around this area are sort of like this. Because you've got the M1 that'll take you most places. But then you've got little roads like this. Usually around speed limit of 80. It's not quite rural enough for them to go on up to 100 kilometers an hour. But they'll be little, they won't be 4 lanes, they'll just be 2 lanes like this. And here we are in Narangbar. Maybe not quite there yet, but almost. We're about to cross underneath a rail bridge. On the right here is the road that I was talking about, and that'll follow the railway all the way up towards Beerburrum, which will certainly be an interesting experience to explore in a later video. And here's the train line here, North Coast Line. At least when it's still duplicated. But let's head straight through to Narangba. Now here we want to turn right to head towards our little park. I'm not sure if it's going to be busy at that park. It is a Sunday. Norfolk Lakes. Well, here we are. Neighborhood watch, huh? Oh, neighborhood watch you. Now, if it's really busy, we might not stop and we might find another place to stop off. But if it's not, if it's nice and quiet, or if we can find a quiet place, we'll stop off and we'll end the video there. You're probably about to die soon anyway, if I remember right. You only last about an hour 20. It looks pretty quiet. Doesn't look like there's tons of people around here. Just find a spot to turn around and then we'll pull over. And that'll be that. If there is a spot to turn around. These cul-de-sac neighborhoods, I tell you. Always a little bit strange. Yeah, let's go this way. Sure. Somewhere around here we should be able to go around the block. Of course, we've got all the Australian flags up here. All our patriots. I hope we can find our way back. This looks like a bit of a semi-main road. It's going somewhere, that's for sure. This looks like a place we might be able to stop up here. We might not be going to Norfolk Lakes Park. Well, what do you know? Oh, we could have stopped there, I suppose. I'm just skittish, that's all. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're getting lost. Oh no. Oh no. Quick, let's turn left. And look, a roundabout. Can we perhaps take this back to where we came from? Nah. Let's go left. Let's embrace the lost. Let's just wander. See what's around. There's no through road through there. No through road through there. It doesn't look like it's taken us to a place we can stop. That looks like there is a through road through there. Are we going to take it? Oh. No. No through road on the left there. You know, we really ought to turn right here. But, we didn't. Oh, look, we're back at New Settlement Road. Are we going to turn left? We probably should. We probably should. I don't want to wander forever. I don't know what was down straight ahead anyway. We're going to find a place to stop anyway. Otherwise you're going to cut out, my friend. There's Banyan Street on the right. I don't feel like going off into that fenced area though. Though to be fair, the last place probably was fenced over too. Not towards the school, thank you very much. I don't feel like that kind of thing. I don't feel like dealing with that shit. Let's just keep going. See if we can find our way back to Norfolk Lakes Park. Is this our roundabout up here? Is this our redemption? It might be. Hello, Norfolk Lakes. Norfolk Lakes. Northfield Lakes. That rolls off the tongue a little bit more easily, doesn't it? Why do they call it that? I feel like I've driven on this road before. Now let's see if we can't find our way around to the left up here somewhere. We can't. Okay, well, suppose we're turning around then. Damn, I just can't help it. I keep getting lost. I tell you what, these bloody cul-de-sac neighborhoods, you get lost so easily in them. Yeah, and it looks like there's no way. There's no way to come at that road from the other direction, apart from going back the way we came. Don't feel like doing that. Let's turn right here, see if there's a place we can stop off. I don't feel like stopping at the playground. Is there a spot up here? You might be able to pull over to. Yeah, it looks like there's some spots up here for us. There's not official parking areas, but good enough. It's good enough for me. Wow. Yeah, we're in the line. We're good. You see that over there? Wow. I gotta take a look at this on Google Earth before we finish up, because this looks like a pretty expansive park. One moment. I don't know if you can actually see what's on this, by the way. Because in the last video it was pretty dark. Yeah, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. Though there aren't as many pathways as I thought there were. Looks like the pathway just goes around here. But you could definitely walk off the path. Might be worth coming back here at some point. Anyway, let's finish up before my head fucking implodes. So here we are, Narangbar, and we're all done. All finished. Although we finished quite a little while ago, honestly. Route 26 ended at the M1, but here we are at Narangbar. Found a place to park. I'll tell you what, State Route 26, it's not the most interesting of the routes. There's certainly, Deagon Deviation is kind of the highlight, but otherwise it's mostly just semi-urban roads and main roads and stuff, and that's not all that interesting to me, to be honest. Would I recommend it as a tourist drive? Not really. Not really. Though, if we do go on Route 27, I've been down part of that route, at least the Redcliffe part, and I think that one might be a little more interesting. But we'll get to that in due time. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time in whichever video comes next, wherever we decide to go. I'm sure it will be fun, and I'll bring you along for the journey. And until then, see you later, folks. Bye-bye.